Many people are convinced that to find any real sense of spirituality, they have to get out of the city. It's a common thought that peace is something you can only find in a silent forest or on a remote mountaintop, far away from the constant buzz of traffic and the shadows of skyscrapers. But there is something incredible to be found right in the middle of it all. A realization can dawn that the noise of the city and the quiet of a forgotten park are both shaping one's inner world in unimaginable ways. This leads to a question that isn't often considered. What if cities aren't just the backdrop to life? What if they're active players in the human spiritual journey? What if these concrete giants and quiet corners are secretly molding who people are on the inside? This exploration covers that hidden psychological link between urban spaces and our spiritual selves. Let's be honest, most people don't really think about their city's design as they go about their day. They navigate it because they have to, rushing through subways, driving down familiar highways, and walking past buildings that are never really seen, but the subconscious is always paying attention, always feeling. And a lot of what it picks up in a modern city can create a deep, subtle sense of being off. So many cities are dominated by harsh, geometric shapes that are the total opposite of the soft, organic forms seen in nature. Being surrounded by hard lines and artificial structures all day can slowly make a person feel spiritually disconnected, like they're out of sync with their own natural rhythm. Think about it. Human evolutionary history is written in landscapes of hills, rivers, and trees, not in grids of concrete and glass. This feeling gets even stronger because of something urban planners call a shortened visual outreach. In dense cities, the view is constantly cut off by massive buildings, blocking the horizon and the sky. It can create a psychological feeling of being boxed in, as if the walls aren't just closing in on the street, but on our minds too. It's this quiet strain on well-being that limits our perspective and cuts down on those moments of broad, expansive thought. Humans are creatures who evolved to scan open plains, but now live in concrete canyons. That fundamental mismatch is the source of a spiritual friction that is rarely named. This friction isn't just some vague idea, it has real tangible effects on the mind. To really understand it, it's necessary to break down the daily urban experience into its two extremes, the chaos and the calm. First, the chaos. High-density cities are a full-on assault on the senses. The roar of traffic, the blare of sirens, the visual noise of advertisements, and the stress of just moving through a crowd, it all leads to cognitive overload. When your brain is working that hard just to process the outside world, it doesn't have much energy left for things like mindfulness, reflection, or inner peace. Overcrowding shrinks personal space and can make people feel more competitive and detached. It's not a personal failure, it's a completely normal response to being in an overwhelming environment. On top of that, the chronic noise and air pollution in many cities are directly linked to higher stress levels, robbing people of the restorative downtime needed for any kind of spiritual renewal. This constant state of agitation can slowly wear down well-being, leaving people feeling alone and disconnected even when surrounded by millions. But there's a powerful counterstory to all that chaos, found in the city's serene spaces. Urban parks, green spaces, and quiet sanctuaries are consistently shown to support spiritual well-being. In study after study, people from all walks of life report feeling profound tranquility, peace, and a sense of connection in these little urban oases. These aren't just nice feelings. They're the very building blocks of a spiritual life. The positive impact comes from a few things. First, just being in contact with nature. The simple act of seeing green leaves, hearing birdsong, or breathing slightly cleaner air has a restorative effect, as trees and plants can absorb the noise and pollution that cause stress. Beyond the biological perks, these places give the spirit something essential, a chance for reflection and solitude. They're places where the city's frantic pace finally fades, allowing minds to become clear and calm. What's really fascinating is that even when people go to parks for totally non-spiritual reasons, like to exercise or walk the dog, they often report these benefits as a welcome surprise. They walk in feeling stressed and distracted, and walk out feeling, as one study participant put it, relaxed, quite joyful, peaceful, therapeutic. So there is this tension, the chaotic city that drains you, and the serene city that restores you. But the key insight here is that you're not just a passive victim of your environment. While you probably can't redesign your city, you can absolutely change your relationship with it. Taking back spiritual well-being in an urban world is an active, conscious choice. It all starts with perception. The answer isn't just to run to a park every time you feel overwhelmed. It's about learning to see the entire urban landscape through a new lens. Research shows that a sense of place, a personal attachment to a location, can dramatically boost its spiritual and psychological benefits. When you actively cultivate feelings of gratitude, love, or connection to a specific spot, even a simple park bench or a quiet street corner, it enhances your own well-being. It transforms a generic public area into your space, a place filled with personal meaning. This leads to the art of active urban exploration. A useful concept is the dérive, which is French for to drift. It's the simple practice of taking a walk without a destination, letting your curiosity guide you. The goal isn't to get somewhere, it's to experience the journey itself, to notice how different neighborhoods, streets, and squares make you feel. The challenge is to try it. Become an observer of your own reactions. Ask yourself, why does this huge open plaza make me feel exposed, while this narrow cobblestone alley feels cozy and safe? What is it about that building that is beautiful or intimidating? This simple practice shifts a person from a commuter into an explorer, and the city turns from a map into a living, breathing thing that you're in a conversation with. Through this kind of exploration, you can start to find your own personal sacred spaces. And these don't have to be cathedrals or even official parks. A sacred space is just a place that helps you reconnect with yourself. It could be a quiet reading room in the public library, a sunlit bench in a museum courtyard, a piece of public art that just speaks to you, or even the top floor of a parking garage with an amazing view of the skyline. It's all about the feeling it gives you. You can also create meaning through your actions. Joining a community garden, for example, is a way to ground yourself in a public space, building a sense of purpose and community. By consciously looking for and creating these points of connection, you start weaving a web of spiritual nourishment all across your city. You're no longer just living in the city, you are co-creating your experience of it. The starting question was if spirituality could even survive in the heart of a bustling city. The finding is that it doesn't just survive, it can thrive, as long as one learns to see the city not just as a collection of buildings, but as a dynamic environment that's constantly interacting with our inner world. It's clear how the chaos can overwhelm our minds, but also how serene spaces can offer deep peace and connection. Ultimately, the psychological impact of urban spaces isn't a one-way street. The city shapes us, yes, but people can shape their experience of the city right back. By understanding this dance, by consciously seeking out the places that nourish them and changing how they see the ones that challenge them, people reclaim their power. It becomes possible to find the silence between the noise, the nature between the concrete, and the sacred in the everyday. A city isn't just a container for life. It can be the very canvas for a spiritual journey. If this idea of finding meaning in unexpected places clicks with you, consider subscribing to the Urban Alchemy channel for more explorations into the fascinating intersection of urban planning, architecture, and mysticism. Where is your unexpected sanctuary in your city? Please share your answers in the comments below. Thanks for watching.